golf course style lawn, like you see here, you've got to do what golf courses do. They aerate, they top dress with sand. Aerate, collect the cores, fill the holes with sand. I got this aerator here. This here's an aerator. This is a cam style aerator. This has 3, which is not that many, 3 of these tines, and these punch holes straight into the ground. This is called a cam style aerator. You can see the cam right there, okay? Big cam shaft right there. So this is much different than your traditional style aerator that uses a drum. The drum style aerators roll. This thing punches, so this kind doesn't beat you up, and it works much better. The only problem with this is that it's only got 3 tines, so it's very narrow, so it takes a long time to do the lawn. But I'm gonna aerate this lawn, and then I'm gonna top dress it in a couple of days. So aerate, top dress with sand. So the lawn is super wet. I've been watering it yesterday and today to try to get it nice and wet so I can do this aeration. I wanna be able to pull some nice clean plugs. I'm gonna start right here and move this direction. So this takes a long time to do because this machine's really narrow. I am in the market to find an aerator that's 4 or 5 tines wide that can do maybe an 18-inch wide swath or something like that. So Billy Goat makes the aerator. Used to be called Plugger, P-L-U-G-R, but I think Billy Goat bought him out. There is a golf aerator. That's the Toro Procore 648, and that's wide, made for greens, really kind of punches, but that thing's a good $10,000 used. So I'm starting here and going this way. I'm just gonna use the machine that I can get my hands on, and this is what I'm able to get. Eventually I will find me a plugger. So let's get this started. So I forgot, you do kind of want to mark your sprinkler heads first. That's kind of important. You can break your sprinkler heads just like that. So I'm going to turn on the sprinklers and mark them. All right, so I got my paint. Whoa! I sprayed paint all over my shirt. Sprayed paint and then walked right into it. So I'm going to turn the sprinklers on and just mark what I got here. So I painted out pretty much all of my sprinklers. Now I can proceed. There's one over here that I did not paint out. They ended up punching a hole right through, so I don't know if I damaged it or not. Put a hole right through it. You can see right there that I cracked my sprinkler head right there. That's a bad deal. That's why you've got to mark them out first. So I don't know if that's going to cause me grief or what, but pretty easy fix, not a big deal. I finished aerating this lawn last night. It took like 3.5 hours. It was dark by the time I finished it. I didn't even do as much as I wanted to do. I've top dressed my lawn so many times with sand that mostly these cores are sand on this side. This section over here, I planted the grass here last fall, and this is all dirt. All these plugs here are clay. They're really hard. I have not top dressed at all with sand here, so these for sure have to be collected. And then this section and here is mostly sand. That's as far as I was able to get right there because I ran out of time. The aeration machine that I was using only has 3 tines, and one of the tines was technically broken, so it wasn't really doing a lot. I also did not aerate this section here because it is freshly planted and it needs some time to bake. So that needs to grow. Imagine trying to mow the lawn with all these cores on here, okay? This lawn is about 1/2 inch tall, maybe 5/8, 3/4 inch. Imagine trying to mow the lawn with a real mower when the lawn's that tall. The plugs are taller than the lawn themselves. So in my case, cores have to be collected or they've got to be broken up. I technically could break them up. If I drug them, the sand technically would break up, drag it all back in, which would be a good idea. Those cores over there that are not sand, those would have to be collected for sure. So I'm gonna collect the cores. I'm gonna use a snow shovel to push them into piles, and then we'll collect them, put the cores in the backyard to let them sit, and then maybe I might redistribute them someday. I don't know. I'm gonna need to get some gloves on.
What?
Get blisters. When you're working with a tool like this, you get blisters. I got this side pretty well done. Just got to scoop up a couple of piles here. That's quite the job. Collecting the cores is a lot of work. So do you really need to collect the cores? You know, if you have a tall lawn, no. You can just mow right over the top of them. If you got a short lawn, real cut, low, then yeah, you're gonna need to collect those. Suppose you could let them go for a little while, let them break down, but it's gonna be really hard on your machine and your reel if you don't collect them. I'm really looking forward to getting that side done over there with the sand, because I have yet to ever level that. After you seed something and you're growing grass, it tends to get a little bit bumpy. So I'm looking forward to getting that sucker leveled. It'll be a lot smoother after I top dress it with sand. The more you top dress your lawn, the smoother and flatter it gets over time. Imagine that. Wonder if the snowblower would work for this. I feel like I'm shoveling just a huge driveway. I'm wondering if the snowblower might work. It has been about 2 days since I finished cleaning up the plugs, and I'm done. It just was dark by the time I got finished. It took a long time to get all those plugs cleaned up. I have since mowed the lawn and it looks great. So you do not have to collect the cores if you don't want to. I like to collect them because I want to incorporate some sand into my clay. And a lot of people say, well, you don't want to do that because it will make concrete, but it's just not true. I have a lot of sand in my clay and things have been just fine. It did not turn into concrete. The aeration will help to get the nutrients down into the soil, get water down in the soil, aerify with air. I wish I had time to do the rest of the lawn in the back, but I just ran out of time and the machine wasn't working quite right. So aerifying the lawn works great. I like to do it because the golf courses do that, and I'm trying to make my lawn look like a golf course. So if you want your lawn to be awesome and pristine, aerify every year, collect your cores, then top dress like they do on the golf green. That's gonna pretty well do it for this video. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.